The topic I want to talk about today is creating real values for uncertain technology. Now, in this case, obviously, the technology I'm referring to is AI, but the term uncertain is not really defined here. When I talk about uncertain, sorry, I need to bring up here. Okay, got it. Okay, so when I talk about uncertain, it's not about the technology not being proven. It's about when the technology of AI is being productionized into products that people can use on a daily basis. That is not proven. Besides ChatGPT, besides a chat-based interface, most of the other tools that we are using is still based on app or mobile framework and mobile platform, at least the mobile way of UX and UI. And I think there's more that we can do as a community, be it developers or non-developers, to push it ahead. Now, I also wanted to kind of like give a context about myself, so that you know who I am, where I came from, and how I come to this conclusion. As I mentioned, I'm a non-developer. I don't develop much. That said, I am a founder of an AI company called Zinc. So Zinc is an AI platform for business strategy and insights discovery. I create Zinc because of my past life as a strategy lead for APAC Facebook, as well as the global reporting lead for Facebook as well. And I take the learnings that I learned in strategy analysis and growing multi-billion-dollar businesses into AI, and to integrate those knowledge bases into AI. And so when it comes to like creating real values from uncertain technology, I'm really just sharing my life story, creating my startup. And I believe that by listening to my stories, you guys, I'm pretty sure many developers and non-developers sitting here today could learn something and create your own AI products very, very soon, or a lot easier, right? And I think the gist of my story is this. As of today, what we learn is that AI is still like a dark forest, and it is up to us to shine the light and to guide the technology forward. Now, if I were to tell you, hey, there's something that you guys can do right now with AI, to build new technologies to build new AI-driven technologies, some of you guys may not believe me, right? And the most common assumption that I've heard is of the following three. One, AI platforms such as ChatGPT, Anthropic has done everything. You can do anything on ChatGPT. You can ask any questions and ChatGPT can give you an answer, right? Also, a lot of things from non-developers. I don't know how to code. Is there any room for me to play in AI space? Lastly, and this is awesome, I love it a lot, AI will kill jobs. I don't want to get fired, so I don't want to create AI products, right? I want to still stay relevant in this business, right? And I would debunk this myth one step at a time. First, ChatGPT can do everything. From what we learned, that is not true. Because if ChatGPT could do anything, consultants would have been gone. Coders would have been gone. But as of today, when I last checked, McKinsey, Bain, BCG is still the largest consulting company on earth. Google, Facebook continue to be relevant, right? So it's not that AI could do everything. And there are some limiting factors with AI. First, AI is very much limited by its training data. And in this case, data that were traditionally not digitized. So what we learn in the strategy space is that when we do consulting, when we draw a business plan, we normally do this thing called whiteboarding. After we have shared our thoughts, after we have shared our strategy, what happened is that the board, the business, or any secretary would erase our strategy. So all those knowledge, it remains in our head. If this knowledge remains in our head, there's no way for developers to, there's no easy way for developers to pull it from our head, to train AI to learn this, besides numerous interviews or shadowing, so on and so forth, right? So besides strategy, there are other things whereby such data points are not being captured and not being trained by AI as well. For example, a good AI that can sweep the floor, or a good AI that can completely replace a whole engineering team. We are still not there. Those are beautiful visions, but the technology right now is still not there. That's why all the developers today still got a job, right? Second, AI can do everything, but AI can't do everything really well. that's because of hallucination. And when it comes to enterprise development or enterprise deployment, that became very sensitive. In our space in strategy, a 98% accuracy is not tolerable. Our clients expected 99.9% accuracy because the advice that we give them is more directional. If we point them to the wrong direction, no matter what they do, business will go down. I'm pretty sure there are other opportunities as such in other spaces, in other businesses that I'm not aware of. The second point, I don't know how to code, so AI is not for me. Well, you guys are in luck because AI solved the easy part of coding. All you need to do is to tell AI what to code, how to code, based on the problem that you have seen in your daily life. Right? AI is good in coding, but AI needs direction on what to build and how to build. And those are the knowledge that operators, that decision makers, that business owners would know and think about every single day. Lastly, AI will kill jobs. This is also pretty interesting. As mentioned above, AI today is insufficient. What we are seeing is, besides ChatGPT, there are so much more things that we can bring LLM in to automate our life, and we still do not see that movement, right? We tried very hard to use AI to automate strategy, to automate decision making, to automate data analysis, and yet there are so many things that we still need to do manually, which we are training AI to do on a daily basis. So now, I hope that I've shared the good news that there's tons of opportunities for developers and non-developers to be part of the AI game. But now, this is where I'm going to talk about the uncertain technology part. The uncertain technology part, whereby in this new AI space, what should we create? What can we create? How does the future of AI look? How does the future of AI look like? The bad news is nobody knows. It's only you as a developer, you as a product manager, you who face the real problem on a daily basis without a solution, trying to find a solution. You know how it looks like. Or you are trying to find a way to know how the eventual product is going to look like. And on top of that, you have to communicate the product, communicate their value out to other people, to rally everyone to join you in your goal. Right? So obviously, how the first question is, how do you form the vision? You have seen your problem in your life. You don't know how the solution is gonna be. You do not have a vision of how your eventual product will be with AI. Now, over here, I offer two frameworks for you to kind of think about and to kind of integrate into to kind of think about, and hopefully can help you find the answer a lot easier. The first framework is the theory of first principle. So first, the idea of first principle is to break things down to the basic universal truth, right? When we do our job on a daily basis, we are being bombarded with a lot of noise, a lot of signals, and that may distract us from identifying what's the real problem that we are trying to solve, right? So let me show some example to kind of help communicate my point across. For example, in a supermarket, the supermarket business, the groceries business. What does a grocery business really do? The grocery business only do two things. We buy things and we sell things. If we buy things well and we sell things well, business works. I'll give you another example, Grab. What does Grab do? Grab app does a lot of things. But simply, what are they really doing is just delivering people, parcel, food from point A to point B. Grab is a logistic business. Grocery is a trading business. So when you are trying to identify a problem that you want to solve with AI, the first step is not to ask what AI can do, but ask what problem are you really actually trying to solve. I'll give you an example of our story. Where we started with data analysis, we said, hey, we wanted to use AI to automate, to improve on data analysis. We know that there's text to SQL technology, but something within us that the analyst, the strategy part of us, keep telling ourselves that is not the answer. Because even if people get the data, it doesn't cause a reaction. It doesn't cause a it doesn't bring a call to action to our users or to our bosses, right? So what we realize that actually the key to data analysis is not the numbers. In fact, it has nothing to do with the numbers. The key to data analysis is to provide confidence and storytelling so that our users, our bosses, are confident to make certain decisions. It has nothing to do with numbers. It has all to do with storytelling. So taking that as insight, we fine-tune our model to focus a lot more on storytelling. Next, so I've covered the first framework, which is our first principle. The next framework that I want to share is really to be action-oriented. Do anything to trigger a signal from the market or from a prospective customer. So when you identify a problem and when you try to solve it, especially with a new technology, especially with an unknown market, it's sometimes very hard, even for yourself, to visualize a solution and to visualize a solution. And that is very much because the market doesn't tell you anything. The market has not seen the vision that you are seeing. And so what you need to do is to just do anything to kind of break to kickstart the momentum, to do something, put it in front of your prospective customers, put it in front of yourself as an end user and ask yourself, does it solve a problem? Even if it doesn't solve a problem, the feedback will answer some of the hypotheses that you have unknowingly made when you design your product or when you design your solution. Yeah. So I also like to share what we do in what we do in Zinc. Basically, when we have a fancy idea, when we have recognized a problem that even our customers have not realized, what we do is first we vibe code with front end. It doesn't work, but at least there's something for them to see. There's something for them to play. There's something for them to feel. And so they'll say, oh, I like this, I don't like this. They can visualize it easily. On our back end, what we do is our analysts, with our understanding of the logic in their data analysis or strategy analysis, we build a simple Python logic that our engineers can just put into our system and run very, very quickly. This is to test. This is to test whether if our logic can be solved with existing infrastructure, with existing computing systems, or with existing AI deployment. And if it doesn't work, we will be improving on the prompt, into fine-tuning the model, or even just use more deterministic measures. Right. The whole idea of this is to just move, just do something, collect feedback, and from there fine-tune your vision, fine-tune your product. Now, I say this step to be very simple, right? Just do first principle. Just understand what problem you are trying to solve. Just do something. Yes, but the whole action of the time needed and the attention needed and the work needed to do this end to end is pretty long. It will take numerous iterations. You have numerous failures, but as you're building your product, just know that every failure, every negative feedback you receive, every statement, every comment that tells you what not to do is one step towards pushing you to what you should do, and that itself is progress. So do not take any mistakes. Do not take any mistake as setback. Take it as progress forward. Yeah. So hopefully by sharing the two frameworks, I can tell you how you can build the vision for yourself. Now that you see the vision for yourself, the next important thing is to be able to communicate your vision to the rest. then again, we are building AI product. We are solving problems that were not solved pre-AI. And this is a case where if you tell customers, hey, we are going to solve this for you, your customers, if you do not communicate your value properly, your customers will judge you. Your customers would not believe that you are able to solve it, because they will say, for the past 20 years with computing improvement, my problem is still not solved. What makes you think that AI could solve it? So that's why communicating the value of your product, getting them on board to believe in you, to believe in your product, became very, very important. And for us, after working for 2 years, building Zinc in the space of strategy, we distill our learning to 3 points. First, we need to build analogy that the people can relate. And this is something that we always like. When we go and talk to clients and we say, hey, we can automate your data analysis team, we can automate your strategy team, they will say, oh, I already have a strategy team of 10 people, I already have a data analysis team of 15 people. What makes you think that your AI agent can do better than can perform better than my team? And that's why we said, we use the famous word of Henry Ford. We said, in the days without cars, people asked for a faster horse. And we use this statement to let them realize how we are actually building a transitional shift from an old way of thinking, old way of doing business, into a new way of doing business. And a lot of times, once we send such messages out, our clients could kind of see the value that we are really bringing onto the table. So when it comes to the products that you are trying to build, the communications that you are trying to form, here are some tips to identify the right analogy for your business, for your field. First and foremost, use ChatGPT or use any AI agents to help you find the right analogy for you. Let me be more specific on that. You use ChatGPT because it's very effective in searching and finding like terms or phrases or even poems that could illustrate the value that you're trying to deliver way faster than if you search it with traditional Google search. We find that to be very, very helpful for us. That said, again, this is a very time-consuming process, because building the right analogy that can resonate with your clients, resonate with your boss, resonate with your end consumer is a very, 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 very difficult task. Second, and this is a point that we have kind of semi-touched on previously, build prototypes that users can look and touch. Because you are trying to communicate a value to them, without anything physical, they could only try to understand with their imaginations. And a picture means a picture could represent 1,000 words. And so, if you're just depending on words, just depending on storytelling, it's very hard to tell your clients, it's very hard to tell your end users what you're trying to do. Build something fast, put it in front of them, even if it doesn't work, and tell them, hey, this is what I'm trying to build. This is the value that they're really trying to really trying to get. Let them try it once or twice, be it making it operational. As long as they can see the improvement in efficiency and effectiveness, they will be on board. Lastly, in the field of problem that you're trying to solve, find an early evangelist who believe in AI, who believe in you, and who can help you build that narrative. Because you need an ally on the other side who fully understands the problem, who understands what your customer is thinking or feeling, and who can empathize at a very deep emotional level to help provide a feedback loop on the right things to say, the right things to trigger the right emotion or logical response from your user. And so find the person, work with him, and continue to refine the narrative. So now, yes, I'm going to conclude, right? So let me conclude what I've just shared. The conventional wisdom is that AI is in a crowded space. A lot of tech giants are trying to get into this space. What I present is a narrative that AI is and continues to be a blue ocean for everyone, be it developers and non-developers, to play a role in, i.e., to build your own company or to build your own product. Now, I also talk about how everyone could take advantage of this opportunity to find the right problem you want to solve, to find the right problem you want to solve, to find the right vision, and to communicate your problem or your vision effectively to your prospective clients, to your prospective customers. Now, if you can guess my age, I'm in the range of 30, and I can tell you this: growing up, I miss the .com days, I miss the mobile days, I miss the days of gaming and publishing, and so I tell myself I would not miss the days of AI boom. I believe a lot of developers, a lot of engineers, and a lot of like non-tech people are sitting here because of the same reason. You want to be a part of this AI boom as well. So I would love to invite everyone to continue to find problems, to be more creative, and to be courageous enough to build the product that you think can solve more problems. Feel free to ask me any questions, or if you want to grab me to have any deeper conversation or to share any ideas, I'm always happy to talk later. Yeah. Thank you.